What does the Bible say about guardian angels? Discovering God's protective presence. Have you ever wondered if you have a guardian angel watching over you? The idea of guardian angels, divine beings assigned by God to protect, guide, and support us, is both comforting and inspiring. The Bible speaks of angels with great reverence, portraying them as messengers, protectors, and even warriors for God. But what exactly does the Bible say about guardian angels? Today, let's dive into Scripture to uncover what we can learn about these heavenly beings and how they remind us of God's constant care and protection over our lives. The role of angels in the Bible: messengers and protectors. Angels play a significant role throughout the Bible, fulfilling specific tasks as messengers, protectors, and executors of God's will. In both the Old and New Testaments, angels appear as divine beings sent to communicate God's messages, protect his people, and execute his plans. In fact, the word angel in Greek, angelos, means messenger, highlighting their role as intermediaries between God and humanity. One of the clearest examples of angels as protectors is found in the story of Daniel in the lion's den, Daniel 6:22. When Daniel is thrown into the den, an angel is sent to shut the mouths of the lions, keeping him safe through the night. This shows how God uses his angels to protect those who are faithful to him. Similarly, in the New Testament, an angel appears to Joseph in a dream, warning him to flee to Egypt with Mary and baby Jesus to escape King Herod's plot to kill him. Matthew 2:13. These instances reveal how angels are tasked with guarding and guiding those who follow God. 2. Do we have guardian angels? One of the most comforting verses for many Christians is found in Psalm 91:11. For he will command his angels concerning you to guard you in all your ways. This verse suggests that God assigns angels to watch over us and protect us from harm. The idea of personal guardian angels is supported by other passages that suggest angels are actively involved in protecting believers. In Matthew 18, verse 10, Jesus speaks of their angels in heaven, in reference to children, implying that each person may have an angel assigned to them. See that you do not despise one of these little ones. For I tell you that their angels in heaven always see the face of my Father in heaven. This statement from Jesus gives many Christians hope that God assigns specific angels to protect and care for each of us, especially those who are vulnerable or in need of divine protection. While the Bible doesn't provide exhaustive details about individual guardian angels, it does make clear that angels are involved in guarding and supporting believers. Hebrews 1 verse 14 refers to angels as ministering spirits sent to serve those who will inherit salvation, reinforcing the idea that God sends his angels to care for and serve his people. Angels as spiritual warriors. The Bible also portrays angels as powerful warriors who fight against evil on behalf of God and his people. One of the most well-known angels in Scripture, Michael the Archangel, is often depicted as a warrior angel who battles the forces of darkness. In Revelation 12, verse 7, we read, "Then war broke out in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon and his angels fought back." This battle scene emphasizes the role of angels as defenders of God's kingdom, demonstrating their strength and willingness to fight for righteousness. In the book of Daniel, Michael is referred to as the great prince who protects your people, Daniel 12, verse 1. This description further underscores the idea of angels as defenders who stand guard over God's followers. For many Christians, this image of angels as warriors brings comfort, reminding us that we are not alone in our battles. Angels are not only protectors, but also active participants in the spiritual battles that occur around us. 4. Angels in everyday life, encounters and miracles. Throughout the Bible, there are numerous accounts of angels intervening in human affairs, often in miraculous ways. These encounters serve as reminders of God's active involvement in the lives of his people. For instance, in Acts 12, an angel rescues Peter from prison by miraculously opening the prison doors and guiding him to safety. This act of divine intervention shows how God's angels can step into our lives at critical moments, offering help and guidance when we need it most. Another example is found in the story of Elijah, where an angel provides him with food and water while he is in the wilderness, exhausted and ready to give up. 1 Kings 19, 5-7. This moment illustrates how angels can provide strength and sustenance, encouraging us to keep going even when we feel overwhelmed. These stories inspire believers to be attentive to God's presence in everyday life, knowing that He may send His angels to help us in ways we might not even recognize. 5. Guardian angels and protection in Psalms. The book of Psalms, often referred to as a source of comfort and strength, contains several passages that describe the protective nature of God's angels. Psalm 34:7 states, "The angel of the Lord encamps around those who fear Him, and He delivers them." This verse reassures believers that God's angels surround and protect them, creating a sense of security in His presence. Psalm 91 is another powerful chapter that speaks of divine protection. Verses 11-12 specifically mention angels, promising, "For He will command His angels concerning you to guard you in all your ways. They will lift you up in their hands, so that you will not strike your foot against a stone." For Christians, these verses serve as a reminder of the peace and security that comes from God's protection, believing that His angels are present to guard them on life's journey. 6. Are angels involved in our prayers? The Bible suggests that angels are involved in the delivery and response to prayers. In the book of Daniel, an angel appears to Daniel after he has prayed and fasted, explaining that his prayers were heard from the moment he began praying. Daniel 10:12-14. The angel tells Daniel that he was delayed by a spiritual battle, which required the intervention of Michael the archangel. In Revelation 8:3-4, we see an image of angels with golden censers filled with incense, symbolizing the prayers of the saints, which rise up to God. This depiction emphasizes the role of angels in bringing our prayers to God, indicating that they are actively involved in our communication with Him. For Christians, this belief adds a sense of comfort, knowing that God hears and values every prayer, and that His 7. Angels in the Gospels, comforters and messengers. Angels play a significant role in the Gospels, appearing at pivotal moments in Jesus' life. They announce His birth to the shepherds, proclaiming the good news of His arrival, Luke 2:8-14. Later, after Jesus' resurrection, angels appear to the women at the tomb, offering reassurance and declaring that He has risen, Matthew 28:5-6. These angelic announcements underscore their role as messengers who bring hope and encouragement. One of the most touching scenes is in the Garden of Gethsemane, where an angel appears to strengthen Jesus as He prays and prepares for His crucifixion. Luke 22:43. This moment reveals that even Jesus received comfort from an angel in a time of deep anguish, emphasizing that God's angels are present to provide strength and comfort during difficult times. 8. Angels and the final judgment. The Bible describes angels as participants in the final judgment, carrying out God's justice and separating the righteous from the wicked. In Matthew 13:49, Jesus explains, "The angels will come and separate the wicked from the righteous." This portrayal of angels as agents of divine justice highlights their commitment to fulfilling God's will, even in matters of eternal significance. In Revelation, angels are depicted as carrying out the events of the end times, sounding trumpets and pouring out bowls of judgment upon the earth. This role reveals the authority and power of angels to execute God's final plan, demonstrating that they serve as both protectors of believers and executors of God's righteous judgment. 9. Guardian angels, a reflection of God's love and care. Ultimately, the concept of guardian angels is a beautiful reflection of God's love and care for His creation. In assigning angels to protect, guide, and support us, God shows His desire to be close to His people, providing them with spiritual support throughout their lives. This belief is not only comforting, but also inspiring, reminding us that God's love is active, constant, and deeply personal. The Bible's teachings on angels encourage Christians to trust in God's care, knowing that His angels are always present to help in times of need. Hebrews 13:2 reminds us, "Do not forget to show hospitality to strangers, for by so doing some people have shown hospitality to angels without knowing it." This verse suggests that angels may be more present in our lives than we realize, serving as reminders of God's watchful presence and love. 10. Final reflection. Embracing God's protection through guardian angels. The Bible's portrayal of guardian angels offers believers a sense of hope, comfort, and assurance. Through Scripture, we see that God's angels are more than distant figures. They are active participants in our lives, serving as protectors, messengers, warriors, and comforters. Each of these roles reflects God's commitment to His people, demonstrating His love and His desire to protect and guide us. As Christians, we are invited to live with faith, knowing that God's protection is real and ever-present. The idea of guardian angels calls us to trust in His promises, seek His guidance, and rely on His strength in every circumstance. While we may not always see or understand their presence, we can take comfort in the assurance that God's angels are watching over us, surrounding us with divine protection and love. In a world that often feels uncertain, the belief in guardian angels reminds us that God is always near, guiding our steps, guarding our hearts, and providing us with the courage to face life's challenges. May this understanding inspire us to live boldly, knowing that we are never alone and that God's angels walk beside us every step of the way.